Yeah, no, it's okay. Fudge. Fuck. Hate that damn thing. That thing is the bane of my existence. The medicine system.
Is that the
building monitoring?
Yeah.
It's cold.
All right, I'm connecting.
Yeah, but it's not supposed to be cold.
Oh wait, it's supposed to be the
cold
other
is
way.
good.
Yeah, not when we have live.
Other
now we have live cells in there, and no, cold is not good.
It's the other ones. There are other ones where it heats.
Oh wait, new shot to freezing semen.
Freezing.
Fudge.
It's not gonna get better.
No, it's not.
All right.
Oh, Travis is working in the chat room.
Thank God. That's a good thing. Is he running? Which ones is he running?
He is on YouTube and Facebook right now.
All right, we are about to go live. Looking like.
Everyone, turn your phone up.
As
loud as you can.
As loud as you can. Yes.
Make sure to get it coming through 3, 4, 5 times.
Hey, we're live, Rob.
Yep.
You know. Like that light on that pinball machine where it just looks like it just keeps
what
going.
Are we? Who's got that up?
Not
I.
I just did for the shits and giggles. I'm sorry. Turn it off!
Such an ass! Alright. And 3. Jesus.
Do we have all the mics on?
And 2. Yes, lights on all around. Thank you for that check, though. Really appreciate it.
Yes.
And where the heck is the preview screen? There it is. I moved them so that they make more sense, and now I can.
5.
You can do it. You can't do it.
This episode of Guys, Games, and Beer is brought to you by Thunderbolt batteries. Well, what the hell do you expect for $1? It's Guys, Games, and Beer!
Yeah!
Oh, yeah. Whew.
Yeah.
Those sponsors are really tearing us up.
They are.
They're
They are. Holy crap.
Speaking of, because I know where this episode is going, I'm going to mention our good friends over at Lionheart. Because Lionheart Racing...
Because there's already 2 shots of whiskey
they
into
race
the
fast.
show.
So
Yeah.
we're going to start the show with the end.
Yes, we are going to start the show at the end. If you want to check out Lionheart Racing, you can, of course, go to www.guysgamesandbeer.net. Look on the top right corner. I am doing this as a precautionary measure for what is going to be a rough episode.
We'll forget at the end.
That said,
You need that?
I think that we should start.
I think that we should start. What should we start, Rob?
We should start with me not rearranging these right before the show. That's really what I should do. What we should do is... Ba-da-ba! Ba-da-ba-ba! Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-da! Oh, crap.
Who's introducing today?
Who bought this?
Who brought this?
I picked it up.
Well, then you have to
Yeah!
introduce it.
Since it was mentioned, the Mega Cat guys, like the 3 Floyd stuff, I saw there's a newer one that showed up. This is the 3 Floyds Brewing Lord Rear Admiral ESB. This is the 3 Floyds version of an ESB. This deep amber ale is a complex malt sweetness and pronounced apricot hoppiness, named after Admiral Lord Horatio Nelson.
I gotta say,
I'm sorry,
do
that's
love
Rear
apricot.
Admiral. Thank you very much.
It's got a really nice.
Oh, I know why they called that. If you look through Admiral's face, it looks like he does have a hook up his ass. So you look carefully.
Not that kind of Rear Admiral.
Oh, well.
Okay, so that being said, you were saying that this is our buddies at Mega Cat Studios.
Yeah, because they're doing some kind of hook up.
Yeah, they're actually going to be touring the 3 Floyds
so-
Brewery when they're in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
So yes, malty, yes. Yep. Tinge of fruit, yeah. Actually, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
No, yeah, I
I'm not
get
getting it.
I get the apricot.
It's a bit at the end.
just
Yeah.
A bit at the end.
A bit of a
Wait.
stout flavor to it.
I'm not... Oh my God. My taste buds are shot.
Yeah, I think they are.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Wait. Let me taste yours, Larry. No, tastes the same.
So
Tom, let me taste yours.
Sure, takes mine.
it does say ESB stands for extra special
Bitters.
Butthole.
Yeah, extra special bitters.
which I've had
A British
before.
ESB.
Okay.
I don't know if those are necessarily supposed to be drank really cold, right?
No, actually,
Or like
quite in the 50s.
50s.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're,
okay.
the problem is when you drink a bitters cold, you lose a lot of that. And if right now you notice that's not necessarily hop instead. You actually get that kind of bittery taste at the end.
You know, I'm not getting a ton of bitter.
Well, it's because it's really cold. It's actually too cold.
Right. So you're saying this 56 degree beer?
It is a 56
It's
degree
11.
beer,
Yeah.
Sit.
Cave temperature.
cellar temperature.
Cellar temperature.
Yeah, you know, again, when you go to a British pub, man, if it's an ESB, it'll be it's
They pull it.
they
right?
literally
They're like-
pull. Yeah, they're vacuuming. It's a vacuum system. It pulls it up because it's not under carbonation at all.
Yeah.
And it's just cellar cold.
That was one of
Well-
the coolest things that I saw when I was in London.
With
When they're pulling the beers.
it really is cool to watch.
Like at first, the first couple, I was like, oh, it's warm. But then I left the country. I was like, I want one of those.
Yeah. No, I am so with you on that. So, but overall, I've got to say, as always, Three Floyds. Have we had anything bad from Three Floyds?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I
They did
think-
just fine.
Yeah, I mean, everything we've had from Three Floyds, I think, has been pretty top notch, and this is no exception to the rule, I'd say.
Yeah, I think I think it's actually a fairly complex beer because it starts a certain way, kind of has some flavors in between, finishes, and like when you're not drinking it, you have an aftertaste in your mouth, kind of like coffee. So that's where your bitter is, and then some people kind of like that probably.
Yeah.
So so it's a pretty complex beer actually.
I'm going to agree with you on that. It's got a really complex flavor profile, which I'm good with. I like the fact it's got that complex.
Yeah. I think I agree with that. That it's more than I would expect. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw a fucking big thumbs up on this.
I'm with
Oh
you.
yeah.
Yeah, I am.
I'm with you.
There you go, guys. That one's a
Yeah.
unanimous thumbs up.
Yeah.
We haven't had one of those in a while, actually.
No, we haven't. It's always been kind of contentious.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that was again kind of cool to see a unanimous thumbs up again. So
Oh my
Oh, it looks like-
goodness.
can't wait to see.
Also, looks like Rear Admiral didn't have a right arm.
Didn't.
Because I know where it is.
That's
why it's called Rear Admiral.
Well, okay, now that's possible.
He's got a guy like sneaking up under the corner here, like
Yeah.
I won't even ask what he's doing there.
or what he had done.
Well, at least he's not a midshipman.
He's got a gun.
Oh. All right, so Rob, what's the real reason we're here tonight?
You totally missed part of the show.
Did I? Oh yeah.
No,
I
we
did,
got the
you're
whole.
right.
See, I told you this is gonna fall apart.
You're right.
Yeah.
Well, we're like 2 shots of whiskey and 2 beers into the show already.
We got to tell the audience
All right,
what we
so
already
get
know.
to the punchline.
Get to the
I'll get that out
punchline.
in editing.
Baby.
Whoop! Hi there, Judge Rob.
Well, we got the dog somehow.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, Judge Rob, go ahead and tell us.
A new cast member.
Yeah. Wow.
Hey,
Come here, fuzzy britches.
well,
Come here,
anyway,
fuzzy
that's the first time that's ever happened.
Yeah, really. Start. All right.
Go on. Go to
All
mama.
right.
Go to mama. Go to mama.
He isn't gonna go if you're talking.
I don't
trust
have
me.
any hot dogs. Go to mama.
Well, he has one.
Are you sure?
Well, one.
Look, we have feral dogs running around the studio.
Yeah, usually that's a Breakfast Club thing.
Exactly. All right, Judge Rob, pass it
Hey,
on.
Kazoo.
On the charge of being the best thing ever to come out of my rear. Guilty.
Oh, now sentencing not so exciting.
What do you sentence it to, Rob?
I sent you to So you're gonna make
Okay.
me spit.
There's only a reason I was excited, Rob, because we have a special reason why we're here. Rob, what's on tonight's agenda?
Oh, tonight's agenda, we're gonna be talking about balls of death.
Or death balls.
Yep,
Death
today
balls.
we've got. We should have rehearsed
That's
that
your
more.
cue.
Probably should have reacted.
Tony Haube.
And Tony, who are you with?
DeathBall. The DeathBall is what we're kind of known as right now. The company's called Cassandar Games, though.
All right. So, we got a chance to meet you about 7-8 months ago at Mad with Power in Madison, Wisconsin. So people know who watch the show know Mad with Power is
featuring the official metal band of the show, Lords of the Trident.
Right. Is a metal fest that's in Madison, Wisconsin, but it's so much more than that. It's metal and arcade games.
Yeah.
And we had a chance to check out your new creation, DeathBalls, and holy crap, we just all fell in love with it right away. So, what we're going to talk about a little tiny is your journey to get here and where you're at currently, and hopefully where all these brew pubs and so on can find you and find out where to get this amazing machine. So, I'm going to go ahead and start this out tonight. So, it's got a really retro feel to it. Where did you? So, is this your first creation as far as an arcade game system goes?
I guess that depends on what you mean by creation, but this is the first one I've ever kind of released to the public. I started getting into game design about 3 years ago, watching YouTube channels, kind of honing my craft, doing some game jams. This is the first one I really set out to build something to release.
So you were doing game jams. Were you at that point thinking about standalone arcade systems, or were you just doing general, I may release this on Steam games?
I was just kind of learning it as a hobby, but then I got the idea that I really wanted to get into the business of it. So I had planned to, I had lived in San Francisco as a software developer, and I had planned to move back to my hometown in Iowa to actually start a VR video game company. So I was not thinking arcades, but I was building, games to try and hone my craft. And when we were moving to San Francisco, all of my VR stuff was on a truck shipping its way across the U.S., and all I had was my laptop. So I decided to, in that 2-week period, kind of build a fun little arcade game that I could demo at the Brewcade Arcade in San Francisco's Game Developer Conference tournament. And so that's kind of where it all started from.
Okay, so a little curious about that. I had not heard about that particular one. So it's called the Brewcade Arcade?
Brewcade, yeah.
So literally people who are developing games for all the new Brewcade pubs that are popping up?
Oh, sorry. Brewcade's just an arcade where I know the owner very well. He's a good friend of mine. And he let me take the game in and set it up while they were having their arcade tournament during Game Developer Conference.
All right. So it's just a little game jam that he puts on directly.
Okay, so you developed the game, and I mean, sort of given the times and everything, more standard sort of approach to something, a release of just about any game is going to be like a Steam or maybe something on a mobile, depending on it. So, stand-up arcade.
Yeah, so, I mean, I was very inspired to do that by Killer Queen. I've been playing Killer Queen since like 2015, since whenever Brewcade got it, and I love the idea of it. I love the way that they approach the market, and so I'd always thought about it. When I demoed it that day, it's just a laptop with Xbox controllers. The bar owner told me he would order a cab of that, and that's where I really kind of transitioned into arcade as a business.
Well, so we've had other developers on the show who basically did the exact same route. They started the game and did not write it originally on a cab or set it up for a cab, and just realized that it had cab potential. So this game was developed. Did you think you'd be building cabs at this point, or did you think, here it is on a PC? I mean, when you were, because the game is such an arcade game. I mean, did you kind of have a vision in your mind that this was, I'm going to build a cab for this, and I'm going to, assemble accordingly?
I mean, I definitely had thought about building arcade games, but for this, I was just trying to build something really cool, just something that I thought would be fun to show off as kind of like this last homage before I moved away from San Francisco. And it just kind of ballooned from that first playtest into, and I knew instantly I wanted to go arcade once we had it in the arcade and I could really see people watch other people play it. But
just on a kind of technical level, I mean, obviously the first cabs came out with ROM boards and that. I mean, what's kind of the what's kind of using now? I mean, you just start sticking a laptop in back there. So I mean, what?
We're using Intel NUC i5s or NUCs. They're just tiny little bricks that have enough RAM and processing power to play this like simple of a game.
I wouldn't go simple. So let's.
Well, I mean, you still have to drive the sound system, and you have to drive the controls, and you got to drive. I mean,
before we get too much further, because again, I don't think a lot of people have had a chance yet to see your game. They will be. Trust me, you're going to be seeing this game.
You had a few seconds.
Oh, did I rabbit hole it?
Good, on our screen.
Did I rabbit hole it?
You kind of rabbit holed it there.
Oh.
Could you go ahead? Let's describe what the game DeathBall is and how it's played.
By the way, you're not suing us for putting DeathBall on the screen, are you?
TBD. No.
Like Facebook, YouTube will automatically.
We'll talk over it. So
yeah. So
fair use.
Could you go ahead and explain the whole game explain DeathBall in a nutshell for people?
So it's you and another wizard stumble onto the ancient resting spot of this magical ball called the Death Ball. And so the way it plays is very much like soccer. It's a platforming 2D soccer game. And every time you jump, you leave behind these little bubbles when you jump in the air. And these bubbles, they're like little pinball bumpers. And your last one will always stick around until the ball hits it. And so you're kind of both hitting the ball with your body, but trying to set up these bubbles in really helpful positions to kind of keep the ball from going into your goal.
So one thing we found about when we were playing the game is the action is fast. Holy cow, the action is fast. I mean, you are constantly, and like you said, you got to plot that out with your bubble trails. But it's really.
You know, it seems like that's kind of a bit of a pattern of the new stand-ups. It's got to be fast. You know.
There's also a little kind of cue that I give you for that, and that's the bubble trails. The real reason that I put those in when I was thinking about them and I was watching all these game design videos and thinking, how do I make the best game? I wanted to give you some feedback about velocity in the game. So even though the bubble trails are kind of this cute wizard thing, they're also designed specifically so you can see how movement happens on the screen and you can learn the speed much faster.
Also helps you identify which one's your wizard.
That too, yeah.
Well, you know, because the action does get. So again, we get a chance to really play the heck out of this at the show. It gets going fast. I mean, when you get really going in this game, it is just zipping around the screen, and you do need to keep track of that.
We talked about this with Successful does before, and it is the focus on mechanics.
Yes,
and that's what seems to be going on right here, is this focus on mechanics. Can you tell me a little bit about how you design the mechanics on this? Because I think that is the big thing. There are so many games that have, like, you know, kind of this neat look to it and everything, but they don't succeed because they don't feel right. How do you get that feeling right?
So I was reading this book called Game Feel: The Art of Digital Sensation, and I was watching these YouTube videos I really liked, and I wanted to find a way to really force myself to work on mechanical depth, mechanical efficiency, using as little as possible to create as many movements as possible. So I wanted to stick, and kind of as an homage to Killer Queen, I wanted to stick to a joystick and a button. So then it was like, how much can I do with this? And there's this really great video by Mark Brown, who makes Game Maker's Toolkit, and he talks about, it's called Mario's Jump, and you should definitely watch it if you're ever interested in game design at all. It talks about how with in Mario 64 with the Z, the joystick, and the jump button, there's like, I don't know what it is, like 16 different jumps you can do. So I really tried to focus on context and combination of the joystick and the button to develop as many moves as I could.
Yeah, you know, and that's so. I'm an old school gamer. I mean, I'm a really old school gamer.
One button, please.
Yeah, I appreciate simplicity. You know, I've got a
And
ton
it
of.
has to be approachable as an arcade game.
That's it. You know, here's the thing, especially with the new movement in barcades and so on and so forth. People are drinking and playing. When we were kids, it was, you went to the arcade just to play games. No, not now. Now I'm going to the arcade to have a nice beer, relax. I don't need a game where I have to spend 2 hours trying to figure out how to play it.
Yeah.
But here goes the thought. Here goes the thought though. A lot of the older games, there was in the game design was a focus on short success for long-term quarter games.
Yeah, but that's okay.
So I mean, you designed in the game was failure.
No, that's like the 90s there.
You know,
but to some extent, I think his game's got that.
I can speak to exactly why this game can accomplish that.
Okay.
This is a good thing.
So they had to generate levels for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you know? That was content creation, and I wanted to be as efficient as possible. So the content that I don't create any of the content. The content is created by your opponent. It's literally building a brand new AI every time you step up to the game that you have to fight. And that's why this will get the quarter draw even if you pick it up really fast. It's like the Street Fighter way.
Sure, you know, I kind of get that. I mean, you get a bit of that with the I think you talk about Joust, where it has a bit of that kind of element.
Yeah, very much so. Real quick shout out. Hey, Vidya.
Yo, Vidya Gamer.
Yo.
Hey.
So yeah. No, I agree. It's got that kind of content. Go ahead.
For my comment.
Oh, so I'm gonna challenge you a little bit. 4-player variant.
Ooh.
I've thought about it. I've in the playtesting stage, I even designed it and we played it. The thing that I kind of moved away from it really quickly is what happened is it just became this like ball chasing fest. Everybody was around. You couldn't even play. You couldn't even see what was happening. It just all happened so fast and it was too much. I have gone back and kind of thought about maybe like 2-ball with 4 players. Something to create other objectives to kind of force space in the game. But if I built something like that, I'd want to start from the ground up and think about it that way from the ground up.
Oh, so in some ways, this game is really ideal as a 2-player, and then if you were going to do a 4-player, it might be its own thing.
Hey, Shane.
Yeah, I think this game has too much recovery, and if you kind of remember the clip,
Concentrate.
you could see you have this slide when you're on the ground, you down jump, and you go into this really fast slide. It gives you the ability to recover from almost anywhere on the map. And so if you have a game that's 2 players, you need to create a reason you need to rely on your teammate. And if you have too much recovery, then you don't ever really get that.
Okay. Well, you know, by the way, I find the cutting grass just cute. That's,
That was one of the technical challenges I gave myself. I wanted to do a pixel shader where you could kind of run through grass and it would kind of bend and stuff. And so I built that as like a little technical challenge and put that in there.
I looked to when we were at Maverick
success,
Terror,
by the way.
and we were noticing somebody sitting in front of the game that was there for like a few rounds, and then people were just waiting to play their next turn. So I think that like one-on-one against each other really works for this game, not necessarily having to wait for 4 people to play the game.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's easier to get 2 people to jump in on a game.
Yeah, so if somebody keeps winning and winning, somebody wants to beat that person.
Yeah.
It's also just beating your way to that goal. You know, when you got 4, it's a little bit easier to be random.
Tony,
here you've got to
well, but theoretically, it could be 4-on-4. Or 3-on-3, or I mean, it could.
Remember when they did that?
I just.
But I mean, I understand.
I agree.
I understand.
Yeah. The action is fast enough as it is. Imagine with 4 people on the field.
I know.
Okay,
the chaos.
All right. So wait a minute, Tony. I've got to ask a question because inquiring minds want to know: what would DeathBall beer be flavored like?
Interesting.
that?
I think you would have to have
Shame.
2 because there's this very distinct duality in DeathBall between the green and the purple. So you'd have to have the green and the purple, and that's tough to say. I like to think that I feel like the green has to be like a little bit hoppier.
Good, yeah.
And the purple's got to be like just a little bit flowerier, like a little bit sweeter.
So like a malt, like a Reds with an IPA.
Wow, Larry's got this all figured out. Just have Larry start brewing your beer.
Yeah.
Just have Larry brew your beer for you.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I had to ask
You
it.
can contact him at drunklarry at guysgamesandbeer.net.
All right. So let's go
HR
back into
department.
so we saw the one at Mad with Power. How have you started placing these machines in barcades so far?
Yes, we have 11 throughout the nation. They kind of show up in clumps, which I think really kind of speaks to the fact that once it gets in an area, other people hear about it and they want it. So we have 2 out in the San Francisco area. We have 2 in Minneapolis. We have 1 here in Iowa. We have 1 in Cincinnati, 1 in Columbus. We have 1 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And then we have 2 in Florida, 1 in Fort Lauderdale, and 1 in Jacksonville.
Okay,
Well,
I
you
see.
still beat
Wait!
Atari's
I
first
gotta
wave.
ask. Is the one in Florida happen to be in 1UP?
No.
Oh, because that was in Orlando. That was the barcade in
Katie-
Orlando.
Oh, wait, is that the one we went to?
Yeah.
Jacksonville and Glitch Bar in Fort Lauderdale.
All right. So I do see a glaring
I
error
barely
with that
remember
list.
that bar, by the way.
All right. Well, I do see a glaring error with that list.
Arcade?
There are none in Wisconsin. We need to fix that problem
Yeah.
because that is a
Well,
great
yes, we do.
game.
Arcade.
We are. So yeah, Garcade would definitely would be a good place for one of those machines to end up.
Connection.
Yeah, then we gotta make that
together.
connection because that would be a great place for that machine to show up.
Golly,
So
yeah.
so
You know what? I've talked to Gar before, and I think we want to schedule a play test sometime when I can just bring it and we can have people come. And so whenever that happens, I'll let you guys know. We'll get the word out and we'll get everybody to come try it out.
Yeah.
oh, we certainly
Sounds
will.
better.
We certainly will.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, great guy.
Speaking of Wisconsin, are you coming back to Mad with Power?
You know what? I've been talking to Ty, and I really think I really want to do it. I really had a lot of fun. It was kind of like one of the weirdest events I went to last year, but it turned out to be a lot of fun, and I think I'd really like to come back.
You should just see the look on Larry's face
I
when
want
you
you
said
to-
that.
I want you to be warned that Larry is under the employ.
HR department's
Yeah.
almost here.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
gotta talk to the.
of Lords of the
Conflict of
Trident
interest.
Industries LLC. We lease him.
Yeah, no, we will. Needless to say, we will be at Man with Power again this year too, and would not mind getting a chance to get our hands on that machine.
No, Venture
again.
Gamer was saying he played it out at MGC.
I was gonna say, why wouldn't this be at MGC?
Well, he's going. Well, no, I was. No,
It's
thanks,
really
guys,
good
for
MGC,
for
yeah.
killing that for me. I was
you
going to
said
bet
it.
overtime. Thanks, guys. You just stepped all over this. All right. Well, you were telling me that you are in contact with Dan about being at MGC.
Yep, he's given the green light. I need to get some details to him, but
So, again, as you guys know, we do Midwest Gaming Classic every year, and Midwest Gaming Classic is amazing. Tony here has been talking to Dan to get some floor space for
I
his
can't see
machine.
that.
What?
Wait,
Oh, the
No,
big,
wait,
not at all.
the big banner on the wall.
wait,
Yeah, literally, he's got this big banner on the wall. But
wait.
so Tony's been talking
No,
to
you
Dan
can't see it.
to get the machine out there.
Turn the
So
camera up.
you will, even though there isn't a machine in Wisconsin yet, you will get a chance to play this machine at the Midwest Gaming Classic. Tony's going to bring another one from his place to the Midwest to Milwaukee. And we'll have one there that will be available for play. And again, the nice thing about Midwest Gaming Classic, it's free to play, which is a big bonus. And this game would definitely be one you want to check out while you're there.
Yes, and I'm also contractually obligated to say that both our friends at Mega Cat Studios and our friends at Not Your Parents' Basement will be in our room.
That's right, yes.
And
We've got some special guests in our room this year.
and if for some reason,
Oh, and the
And it's
music
for some-
stylings.
And, yes,
yeah,
and the Lords of the Trident
and Lars is trying to,
guitar player.
and if for some reason you you can't get a space, of course, you'll be in our room too. Because we'll happily have you in there.
Oh, good.
I actually did offer him just in case Dan couldn't get him in. I was going to make sure we had him covered.
Beware the roofie spiked beers. I'm just saying.
Yeah, they come from that.
So
I did
again,
not hear about this last year.
oh, sorry. I am so sorry about that. So we normally warn people before we give them a beer. So again, as we talk about this game, if you want to check it out, it's going to be at the Midwest Gaming Classic. It'll be up on the main floor. You definitely want to check this game out. It's really, again, we were very lucky and got to play it last year, and all just fell in love with it. It was just, like Ryan was saying, people were just lining up to get in on this game. It's just a great, quick play. So one of my things is, again,
Fun, not complicated, just fun.
it's just a fun game. Right. There's enough strategy to keep you interested. It's not so complicated like we were talking about before, where I have to spend 2 hours freaking learning the game to kind of get all the moves, and I gotta hit this button combination. It's a button and a joystick. You know what I like? A button and a joystick. No, and I, not that I don't like fighters and all this stuff, but this trend to make
ZXXYYY, yeah!
Thank you. This trend to make games that are just very playable, very, again, especially with the in this kind of environment where they're more for leisure play. They're not for I'm trying to kick everybody's butt in the arcade. I'm in a bar having a couple of beers. I want to play a game that's just fun with my buds.
And design-wise, it's more about working with what you have and exhibiting your talents as a game maker by working with what controls you're limited to, as opposed to having to throw in all sorts of buttons that people are not going to care about or use anyway. So kudos for you for sticking for a simple format, which is actually the trend right now, it seems.
The game bot has spoken.
Damn. And spoken well.
Yeah,
So
it's well done.
Again, I'm glad you took that approach to when you were doing the design of the game to keep the control.
I kind of feel like sometimes the art comes out of the restrictions you put on yourself. So I'm
Well,
glad that it worked out.
Have you ever dealt with? Have you ever heard of the Pico 8 or any of these quote fantasy consoles? Now you might want to check them out. The idea is basically these guys. Oh my goodness, I'm not going to pronounce it drunk. But anyway, they made something called the Pico 8, which is a made-up 8-bit console. And they have had huge amounts of developers. It might be something you might be interested in.
Oh, interesting.
And it is a pretty awesome little 8-bit.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
I do show it every year at MGC, so I make a fake one, basically.
Yeah, that's great. I love this. This is great.
Yeah, Pug-A-Rita is
was
the
an arcade,
indicator.
I would drop a bunch of quarters on that silly game.
yeah, thank you.
Because you can
Who
play
doesn't
for
love Hug-A-Rita?
30 seconds or 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and then the next player's
It's a little
got to
perverse.
Kiss Arena fans.
So now I totally expect a version being made for the Pico 8, and I'll be heartbroken. No, that's really okay, but it would be cool. Just saying.
I'll look into it.
So you got this rolling, and you got them in some barcades, and so do you have a future vision, a second cab in mind?
Yeah, so talking about simplicity of controls, like on my desk in front of me right now, I have this little rotary encoder that's a push button rotary encoder that I've wired into a breadboard and then into a little Arduino, and it's just I'm trying to force myself to make a game with this small of controls. I just want to. That's my next thing I'm trying to work with. So
Okay.
I think it's going to be some kind of like Demolition Derby style car game.
Ooh.
Do you remember? Oh God, what was the soldier one where you had the?
Make sure to put death
There
in
was
the
a
name.
Western one and a soldier one that had just the spinner.
Oh, you mean Frontline?
Frontline, thank you, Frontline. So yeah, no, I'm old and I remember a game called Frontline, and the control was a spinner, and basically a fire button. So
See,
Yeah,
I
it
see,
had
I'm
a joystick,
envisioning,
too.
he says like a demolition,
No, it
so
didn't.
Yeah, it
a
did.
spinner and
you
then
use
use
the
an
joystick to
accelerator
control your
button.
guy, and you use the. I literally.
Oh,
have
no, you're
played-
right, you're right.
I hate to tell you this, but I played it within the last week.
No, you're right. I remember that game now.
I'm envisioning a spinner spinner and one button.
Feel
Well,
free to
he's
talk
talking
over
about all in
anybody
one.
in
I'm a
the
big fan
cast.
of Warlords.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
Well,
okay.
I think that's probably one of the best games of all time. I mean,
From my perspective of awesome control, I tend to agree.
yeah, it was really just amazingly well done.
I like the blend of diorama and video game.
Oh, you're going arcade. Very
He's
nice.
going old school. Quick question
Well,
for you.
we're talking cabinets. We're talking
No, we are.
cabinets.
Yeah.
So,
it's
and
a true story.
I think that was a really beautiful machine. It's a work of art. The way they use the diorama against a mirror, and then put the video game overlay onto
Okay.
it. It's
Now-
really neat.
Now that's an interesting point. I have not seen that created with any of the new retro games that are coming out. I'm going to call them retro games because they have that kind of 8-bit.
They're better.
16-bit feel.
They're. I better watch that.
I
but-
would not mind what Larry just talked about. I would not mind seeing as a trend where people who are creating new games, but still along that simple vein, did something like that. Bought back the old mirror display system where you could add all sorts of cool artwork and 3D-ish effects by using a mirror reflecting on some kind of an image.
Well, you know it'd be.
It has a different experience.
Oh,
to
it's
it,
oh my God,
than-
yes.
Than just straight graphics, It
No.
has a different
And not that you
experience.
can't do it with straight graphics to
Yeah.
some extent. To some extent, you don't get the depth of field that you get with something like that. Quick question for you. Now that we're getting into the cabs, are you guys manufacturing your own cabs, or do you have that farmed out?
We literally manufacture cabs next door to where I live. It's a sign shop called Signs and Frames. I rent a little bit of shop space from them. We CNC the cabs here. That was a whole process of learning how that whole thing works. But it's been really fun to learn.
I gotta be honest,
the
there.
cabinet maker to put them together, and I hire a local worker to wire them up. And we're kind of getting to the point where the process is really efficient.
That's
But,
very
You
cool.
know, I think you're really stretching the idea of
Frames and more.
frames when you going into a
That's a lot
cabinet.
more.
Yeah,
than a frame.
a lot
No,
more.
that's really cool that you guys are doing your own cabs. Again,
I wanted it to be very vertical. I wanted to control as much of the experience as possible. We have all these innovations we put into the cab. We have this latching system in the front of
Uh-oh.
The internet has died.
hardware.
Oh,
Oh,
We have a spectator screen that we kind of have been trying to pioneer in the industry.
well, yeah, I gotta tell you what, you are breaking up. We did hear spectator screen, which
It did
I
say
kinda
everything
miss
he
those.
said.
it did.
Yeah, and there was just a pause in between.
Yeah, it kind of threw us.
Yeah, well,
You
that's
still
fine.
there?
So yeah, I'm still here. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that we can do in that space to make the experience better.
I
And
liked it. I liked the
so that's why we
spectators.
wanted to own that
I do
part
too.
too.
I thought that was
Yeah, no, and we were just talking. That is having, and other companies we know do this. Putting the spectator screen on is a big plus. It's a big drop. In fact, we've
Made Punch-Out.
what's that? It did. Yeah,
I
that
think
was
it
one of
made
the early
Punch-Out.
games that did it. Was having a spectator screen on it. So and again, that's always a nice touch. And it does again, like we talked about with Man Power. People are lining up because they can see what's going on the screen.
Yeah.
They're picking up hints and tips on how
Yeah.
they're going to play the game. It makes a big difference. So that was, as always, a nice touch.
Yeah, it's all about enticement.
Yeah, it's all about enticement. You really do
Yeah.
want to get people to draw in, and you see that with so many of the new video games are adding that spectator screen.
Speaking of,
And we get
yeah.
we get inspiration from other cabs too. Like the Cosmotron's cab is very beautiful. It's got cup holders. That's something I really appreciate about it.
That is
You
smart.
should always
Yes.
have cup holders.
Shane's online with us right now, and he's the one who asked you the beer question, by the way.
He thought about doing a mirror system.
Yeah, he did. So yeah, no, that was
Oh,
true.
yeah.
There are limitations. Once you have a diorama, you're stuck.
That's true. You can't upgrade the machine as easily, but it brings a whole new experience to the machine. What?
You know what? All I really care about is the damn physics work. To be honest, that is so. It's so basic to the game. It is. It gets wrong so long.
No.
One more time.
I spent so long on that portion too.
The physics are beautiful. I'm going to agree, but I'm going to disagree with Rob on this. Yes,
You're wrong.
There's
not even a chance.
the new baseball pinball games that they got with the runners that run and all that. That is a fun experience, and having the little guy flip up and then run to the baits.
No,
it's a fun experience. The physics hasn't changed. I gotta hit the ball the same
in the right area, right?
In the right area, so that didn't change.
Right.
But the environment around did change, and I like it better.
I'm going to agree with you on that. I think part of the, and this is again part of your machine. Well, I think what we found enjoyable at your machine. It's not just the physics of the game, but the overall look of the machine.
So you're cut off.
No.
No, it's and then it goes with I've played Warlords in many formats. I've played it on many different systems, and the funnest one I've ever played it on was the one that was built with the mirror system. I don't know why exactly, but that diorama overlay just somehow was.
So Warlords is a very playable game, and the physics are good, and everything is great on it. But that just adds that extra
It just was
little
something
touch.
kind of neat, kind of clean.
Yes.
Yeah, it was cool.
Graphics can add to it.
It's experience design at the end of the day.
Yeah, but
You get to control everything, so you can make the experience however you want. It's kind of the awesome part of the depth of building an arcade cap.
AKA cup holders.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, come on! Well, the experience!
Seriously,
They have it, and the Queen has it.
Right.
Who
Take
doesn't love the metal holders on the tapper machine?
That was
right.
And
With
the
your
little
mirror.
brass rail. Yeah, that was perfect.
No, what I'm saying is when you take the old like an Atari game that we bring up and it gets a crowded MGC. Right? Like something like Warlords, which always draws a crowd. Why does it draw a crowd? It ain't because of the graphics. It isn't because of anything. It's because of the physics. It's nothing like that. It's because of the physics. It's a perfect game. It's
No, I disagree with you. I think a part of
it's because of the atmosphere that it creates, the social atmosphere it creates.
Yeah.
And it
That
does
helps,
that through
too.
competition. And the competition is really tight because the physics are really great. And when you make that whole line, that's when you create this little sphere of competition that just kind of forms and keeps rotating in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
Okay,
And
yes.
you take that back
Yes,
to Paul.
wait a minute. Yes. I would play on the Atari Warlord. Absolutely. But I prefer it on the arcade.
Mm-hmm.
No, I totally agree with that, and it is about the experience. It's
Well-
underrated, yeah.
See what I'm saying? I mean, there
Yeah.
is differences.
Yeah, there is. I've always found out any port of a game I played arcade.
Assuming
once
I
or
was
two
single.
superior.
I'd make love to one of the Spice Girls, but I prefer my hand.
Really? You prefer your head?
Wait. Wait.
That's really nice.
I think
That's
you
way
did
too
that
much truth for this episode.
Yeah.
I think you did that wrong.
Yeah, I think we
Oh,
did too.
sorry.
All right. So
We'll get that in editing.
we had this talk before the show started about editing, dude. All right. So one more time. So if people are interested in actually purchasing one for their barcade, where can they find information about this system?
So we have a website. It's deathball.co. I'm not rich enough for the
For
M.
their barcade.
So it's just deathball.co. And on there's a link that you can read all about the locations we're at and kind of the story of how it got created. You can find a link on there to order a cab. That's kind of like just a form you fill out. The payment goes and we'll start building it. But if you're always welcome to contact me directly. Just Tony@deathball.co, and I will gladly walk you through the process of ordering a cab.
All right.
Nice.
Again, for all our
Just out of curiosity, just
thing,
something I
we
just
have-
thought of. Since you're kind of marketing towards barcades that the quarter calculation system, was that kind of an off-the-shelf thing, or did you write something for that, or?
You mean like what keeps track of the ledger of the quarters?
Yeah. So
Yeah, no, I wrote a ledger in the machine that
Oh, okay.
takes in the quarters and keeps track of them.
That's a cool idea, actually. That's a very cool idea. So that's a really good thing for, we've talked about this before on the show. A lot of barcade owners don't take into account the real costs of running a barcade.
Mm-hmm.
They think they're just going to stick a whole bunch of machines in a bar.
Like a turnkey operation.
Yeah,
or some shit.
and that's not how it works. You have to. There's all sorts of costs that come to operating machines that they don't think about when they're opening up a bar.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we're very fortunate. We come from a group that knows what's involved in maintaining machines, in how much power they use, in everything. But a lot of bars think, oh, hey, I'll just stick a whole bunch of machines in here. That's not how it works, trust me. So putting even something like that ledger system in is really brilliant. Again, I'm going to give a big shout out to all our barcade friends. You really, really want to look at this. It's a highly addictive game that I can see being a real draw.
I think that's probably true.
Yeah.
Speaking of
And
that,
I just want to bring up the fact that we have right now what we're calling the backer cab special. Anybody who wants to be a DeathBall backer can get in on this first run of 10 cabs. We only have 2 of those left though, and they come with the spectator screen add-on for free.
Oh.
And then after that, we're not going to be able to guarantee the price we have right now.
All right, so 2 left, guys. Get on it.
That helps because people seeing that up
We
there
have a
going,
question.
what
You
is
should
that?
Yes.
What's that game over there that we haven't seen
Sounds in all
before?
3.
Yeah,
It
And
does.
that draws people.
It
We
does.
change
And
question.
exactly.
That reminds me of the old Aladdin Castle days of like when they
Yeah.
had a new machine
Wait.
and there was the
Up
spectator
front,
screen.
literally up front of the
yeah,
arcade.
and you would see that and go,
Oh, shoot. I
let me
haven't
watch
been
that, and then you'd have a couple people around you saying like, this is what the game is. They show you a couple things, and then before you know it, you're dropping your quarters. And
Yeah, no, I'm
whatever,
leaving that
playing
by.
the game as well. So.
No,
That's our sound quality, not them.
and that's just, again, that's part of I think what so many people with Mad with Power, they saw that game on the track screen on the and they flocked to the machine at the show. So all right, so again, as he said, there are only 2 left in their initial 10 runs, so you might want to get on that as soon as possible.
Limited edition cider.
Bonus. So,
Well,
anything else you want to shout out or tell people about? Tony?
I think we've covered all the big news. I'm gonna be at the Midwest Gaming Classic.
Yes.
I hope to see you there.
Oh yeah, you'll definitely see us there.
Yeah.
You probably won't want to, but you'll probably see us there.
you will.
And again, for those of you who are going to be at the Midwest Gaming Classic, definitely check out the game. It's called DeathBall. It's a great old school. I'm going to go old school because of the standard 8-way joystick, the fire button. Just the ease to pick the game up and get into it. That's why I'm calling it old school. It's a new game, I know, but it's got that nice old school feel to it.
Retro.
Thank you, very retro. And it plays amazingly well. Check it out there. And if you haven't picked one up, you might want to get one on order while you're there. Are you taking orders at the show?
Yes, we will be.
There you go. So if you want to check it out before you order it, Midwest Gaming Classic is going to be the place to order it. Midwest Gaming Classic is the premier arcade event in the Midwest. It's held at the Wisconsin Center in downtown Milwaukee. Needless to say, we will be there this year, bigger and better than ever. Jesus, the rooms keep getting bigger. We have a bigger room again this year. So
Yep.
And all sorts of new surprises to show this year in the room. So we just keep getting bigger and bigger areas to take over. So we will be there as well. And
I plan to be the entire Midwest Gaming Classic.
at the rate we're going, we're heading that way quickly. We are.
No, I don't want that kind of headache.
Yeah.
No, wait. We still want Dan running the whole thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let Dan leave that headache to Dan. The Midwest Gaming Classic is coming up the 12th, 13th, and 14th of April in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. If you haven't gotten your tickets, I think the VIG is sold out, so you're screwed on that already. The VIG event this year is amazing. But you definitely want to grab your tickets quickly. There's only a month out. We're only a month out.
Yeah.
So, it's coming up fast. If you haven't been to Midwest Gaming Classic, it is amazing. It's been
So,
going...
of course, in our rooms, again, we'll have the music stylings of Brian from Lords of the Trident.
Yes.
And I'll
be playing live.
This is new.
Oh, you got new
You probably don't know this.
No, I don't.
On Sunday, they will play the Midwest Gaming stage.
Oh my God!
Together, yes. That Ty and...
So the
and-
Lords are taking...
Well,
not the entire...
2/5.
That's okay.
That's
Holy
yes.
cow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so,
Guys, Games and Beer Room will be closed on Sunday.
Yeah, we're all gonna go watch. We're gonna go watch Ty and Brian. So, if you haven't heard these guys play, they play video game music unbelievably well. Brian's was in our room the last 2 years playing live.
Yes.
And he's just amazing. You know, he can play any video game tune you name. But in fact, I'm trying to think of the guy's name from Mortal Kombat. Not Cage. Is it Cage?
No.
The other one.
No.
So you are so past this podcast ability.
I am. I've been drinking too much.
Anything.
But so.
Oh, yeah, you know.
So the guys from Mortal Kombat have fallen in love with Brian's ability to play anything on the guitar, including all sorts of game themes.
Yeah, that was Dr. Phil Hahn.
Yeah, Dr. Phil Hahn.
Who played
Shang Tsung?
Shang Tsung.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shang Tsung from the game Mortal
From
Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
Is just absolutely in love with
Yes.
Brian's guitar
Yeah,
playing.
we
and
were doing
literally-
a trivia night, and kept coming over and asking.
We will
Brian
not be
for
doing
requests.
trivia night
Yeah,
again.
and then
By
hung
the way.
out.
And it was pretty amazing.
And
yeah.
last year hung out pretty much all day
Yeah,
one day
yeah,
listening
yeah.
to Brian play.
Yeah.
So yeah. But
I do
again,
want to point out that we will not be doing trivia
Yeah.
night probably ever
Ever.
again.
I
I
went
loved it.
really well.
You
really
were
well.
smashed.
You were
3
really
hours,
drunk.
man.
We were all
Hey.
drunk.
Well, it
I
was like,
was-
how long was it? Like 2
I was
hours?
6 hours long.
Yeah.
I was part of the more sober crowd.
Benji Gamer goes, no, it was really good.
Thank you, Mitch, again.
By the way, that Dr. Phil Hahn will be at Mad with Power.
Oh, that's right. He will be. That's right. I forgot
he
about
will
that.
be
Yes.
at Mad with Power. He will be a guest.
So,
all right.
all right.
So I gotta actually do my job and
Okay,
start
before
wrapping
you
things up.
do that, okay, one more
And I gotta
time.
do my job of distracting you.
Yeah, Tony, one more time. If people are interested in ordering a copy of DeathBall for their barcade, where can they find you at?
Tony at deathball.co.
Two left. Get your butts in gear. Order one of these systems. They are amazing. All right, Rob, take us out.
All right, I want to thank you guys very much for watching Guys, Games, and Beer. I do want to point out yet again, I did at the beginning, I realized
When are we gonna get a new schedule?
that Lionheart is totally sending us a new schedule anytime
Yeah.
now. But check out our friends over at Lionheart Racing. You can check them out at www.guysgamesandbeer.net. You look up on the top right-hand corner of the... we're totally going to have to switch to those overhead speakers one of these days. But anyway, you can check them out at www.guysgamesandbeer.net. Look on the top right-hand corner, click through, and boom, you're racing. You are racing. It's crazy. By the way, they're pretty darn entertaining.
Oh, they're funny. I was going to say SF, but I did kind of censor myself.
might hear
Why
that.
did I censor myself?
You
on
might
There you
find a delightful advertisement for one of the sponsors, Guys, Games, and Beer of the series during a crash.
It's
So-
yeah, exactly. And the crashes are amazing when they happen on this on their.
There are real people crashing, man, but from their homes.
Yeah, from their home.
All right. YouTube. www.youtube.com/guysgamesandbeer. Please note that we are still occasionally posting on iTunes and all the podcast places. We recently had the most amazing interview. And believe it or not, Larry did it.
Yep.
Yeah, he
I
was
like
like all
I like this-
NPR.
This
He was
shockingly
all NPR.
sober, Larry.
They're shockingly sober for an episode.
That was a good interview.
Yeah.
And he was talking about
he
gender
literally
identity.
tagged it.
Yep.
Shockingly smart.
He was talking about gender and diversity in gaming. It was a very impressive interview. It was great stuff, and you should definitely check it out. www.guysgamesandbeer.net or iTunes if they frickin' picked it up. Anyway, you can also check us out daily on Facebook. www.facebook.com/guysgamesandbeer, where pretty much every day somebody in the Guys Games and Beer crew does something
To be embarrassed
insane
about.
Yeah.
that they will probably regret later, like giving away free games, which, by the way, for once I did.
I saw that.
Last week.
Whoa!
Get out. I know, I was giving away a good game, but however,
I like the crap I
guarantee-
give away.
I guarantee that Tom's gonna try and one up me. I guarantee it.
I have
so
to
check
now.
it out.
I have to
More
now.
shovelware.
No. He gave away a good game. I have to give away some good
I was
games
on
now.
fire. But Tom's gonna try and one up me, so you can check us out at Facebook,
Death boobs.
which I already checked out.
It's
On
almost
Twitter
a real
at
game.
Guys Games Beer. Notice that there's no and because they're cheap with the letters. I think I covered everything.
I'd like to give a special shout out to Tony, our guest tonight. Thank you so much for being on the show this
Thank you,
evening.
Tony.
Yeah, thank you, Tony.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for having me. How many ever people there are here?
Good old Twitch.
Yeah. Yeah, good old Twitch, yeah.
What the F is that? Alright, anyway, thank you very much for watching. Next week, if on Twitch you want to see some freaking weird ass ASCII art, you can.
It is ASCII, I'm impressed
Yeah,
though. It's
I
pretty
am
good
pretty
ASCII
impressed
art,
with that.
actually.
It's kind of effed up in my corner. But
Hey,
anyway,
if there's a weird board game you want us to play, you should let us know.
Please do.
yeah, because we totally do that.
We
That's
totally
a mess,
do
by
that.
the way, no matter what size I'm at. But anyway, if you want to do that, you can check us out at Twitter and YouTube and Facebook on all three. Do we broadcast on Tuesday night at 6:15 CST.
Ish.
Later all.
Bye.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. That was awesome.
For the love of God, let me turn
The after feed off so
you
people
know
can't hear all the shit we're about to say
the big mistake I made.
about how bad they sucked.
Hey, we're
Yeah.
still on the air. I'm so sorry. There we go. All right, there.
Oh, somebody
No,
posted a penis to our no, an ASCII art penis to our Twitch feed.
Okay,
Nice.
that I freaking approve of.
Yeah.
Okay, it is ASCII art. I gotta admit for ASCII art.
All right,
it's a
you know
pretty
what?
realistic looking
Well, it did
penis.
pass
I've heard of that.
Oh, wait, do you have to turn that on?
Yeah, turn it on. I have mine on.
That
Okay,
would-
so Tony, thank you.
Yes.
Do you know Shane yet?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah, all right, good. Because he gave you a nice big shout out on their area too tonight. So,
Yeah.
again, you guys have got a great game. Looking forward to seeing it again. Looking forward to see you guys at MGC. Stop by, have a few beers with us for sure.
Absolutely.
Mad Cat Studio is going to be in our room this year.